ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Thursday, June 4th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line is open, and it's brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We're getting that much closer to the state baseball tournament being held at Jack Cook Field. Everything gets underway on Saturday, then Sunday off, and then right back at it on Monday all the way to the following Saturday. So we've got a lot of baseball coming up in the Tri-State. And, of course, programming note, we're not going to be with you next week. We've got the entire tournament on radio, starting with Saturday's games, and we'll take you all the way up to the following week in the championship. Every single day, every game right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So I won't be with you next week, but that's okay. You can find me on X at Paul Swann, and I'll be lurking there as well as whatever social media platform you're on. Just follow the links that I've got on my X account, and that'll take you to some of the other accounts that I'm on. So let's get into today's show. Of course, with the text line open, that means you've got a little bit of control of what we're going to talk about. But I do have coming up later on Tyler Kennett from HD Media. We're going to talk about the tournament coming up, the field, get his thoughts on what to expect. Also, as this tournament gets closer to starting, we're going to hear from Andrew Brown. Andrew's got a list of titles. Just know that he's taking good care of the facilities at Marshall University. So we're going to get his comments in a few minutes about what this means, hosting this event in Huntington. And I think we've talked about that for several days now. What does this actually mean to Huntington to have an event like this and have an athletic department, have an administration, a president's office that's looking at these things more aggressively? I've been screaming this for years. Open up the Henderson Center, have different events at the Henderson Center. Basketball is going to be your primary focus during season. I get that. But you can open these venues up more and do more with them, and that will bring in more revenue. Honestly, why not have a midweek concert at the Henderson Center? You don't have to have the biggest act, but I think the Henderson Center would be suitable. You know what? What about midweek wrestling, professional wrestling? You could have a wrestling show. You could have all kinds of events at the Henderson Center, depending on what you're looking for schedule-wise. You want something midweek. Is the arena going to be available during the weekends after season? You've got all kinds of opportunities. So I've been screaming that for years, and I'm glad that Marshall University is opening up the facilities more. And that includes baseball, of course, having the opportunity to put the bid in and receive for several years the tournament, give an opportunity for Marshall to really showcase the facilities, and we're going to talk to Andrew Brown about that. Had a chance to catch up with him earlier today. We'll hear his comments in just a few minutes. So last night, Game 1, NBA Finals. I wasn't worried. Not at all. Nope. Was not worried at all. The Knicks beat San Antonio on their home floor, 105-95. Game 2 is going to be Friday night in San Antonio. And we're going to have that game on our sister station, Cat Sports, 93.3 and 1340. Now, coming up tonight's Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final between Las Vegas and Carolina. Las Vegas got the golden goal in game number 1. Game 2 tonight, 7:30. Again, on Cat Sports, 93.3 and 1340. And the Astros got the better of the Pirates yesterday, 11-9. Final game of that series coming up tonight. We'll have the game for you. 8:10 is going to be first pitch. You can tune in right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. The Royals got the better of the Reds, 5-2. And, of course, we are going to have all weekend long racing on our sister station, Cat Sports, 93.3 and 1340, and hockey and NBA. So we've got a lot going on. Baseball, of course, right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So there's a lot of things coming up this weekend. So get those apps. Download them now. Just go to our website. You can download either one we've got a tab that'll let you switch over to the other station. So you can go to our website right now, wrvc.com. Get the app. You can listen to the station wherever you're at. Let's go to our text line before we hit the break, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Let's get things started. Texter says, Paul, we need central air conditioning to really open up the Henderson Center for all year-round events. Absolutely. Is there not somebody that can just go in and redo that and then I'm going to use the word trade. Can we trade that out? That was something we used to do years and years ago in the olden radio days. Back when DJs ruled the world. You could trade out vehicles. We could trade out everything. Just trade that out. No, that's going to be a tough project to finally get to. And I don't think that Marshall's just putting it on a Post-it note, need to fix air conditioning. I know that's a big one for the facility. And so you're right. That would really open up the Henderson Center for a lot of different events. And I think that's what hopefully Marshall is moving toward. You're not going to get a new basketball arena anytime soon. That's not happening. Unless somebody knows something that I don't. That's not happening. So you got to make the best of what you have. And I'm sure there are a lot of projects with the Henderson Center that you can go down the list. And once you're able to get to them, you can really start to shine up the Henderson Center, make it a first-class facility with what you've got, make it a great venue. There are a lot of older venues that you still go to and you think, wow, this is a great venue. It doesn't have to be the shiniest, most modern venue, but as long as it's well thought out and you're taking care of the fans, things I look at is, of course, concessions. I look at things like bathrooms. I look at things like that, the things that really help make your experience a pleasant one at the ball game, at the football field, wherever you may be. So I think there's a long list of things that the university and the athletic department are trying to work on. But yes, I agree with you. Central air conditioning really would open up the Henderson Center for a lot more events. And hey, maybe then we could get that midweek wrestling card. We could go watch some WWE action at the Henderson Center. We can do this. It's not unheard of. It's happened before. You put a ring right in the middle, the Henderson Center, and then let's go. Let's get the body slams going. All right, our text line this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's the number to be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I had a chance to head over to the Jack earlier today. It was actually, I went over early because I just wanted to hang out for a few minutes and get out of the office and hang out at the Jack, and had a chance to catch up with Andrew Brown. So Andrew's essentially overseeing the facilities and everything that happens there. So it goes through him on most everything when it comes to these things. And he had some interesting things to say as we are getting ready for the baseball tournament. So we're going to get into all of that. And we're also going to talk about kickoff times. Texter wants to get in on that. We'll do that when we continue, but the text line is open as well for you. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Summer starts here. It's Moses Auto Mall of Huntington 9th Street Live every Friday night in Huntington. Presented by Michelob Ultra, White Claw, Big Timber, and Country Boy Brewing. Friday, June 5th, it's the heavy hitters on the Marshall OBGYN stage. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Gomart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy 9th Street libations from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe. Sip downtown Brasserie and Summit Beer Station, featuring Tito's, Milagro Tequila, Rebel Bourbon, High Noon, and Lucky One. The after-show party takes place at Jerk Riley's at Pullman Square. Mark your calendar for June 19th when 9th Street is dead, with Grateful Dead tunes from John Ingram's Dead Center. July 10th, enjoy the music of the Beatles with the Newbies. The Thundering Herd Rally is Friday, August 14th, sponsored by Wendy's, Huntington Beverage Center, Sods, Apex Tech, The Great Outdoors Marine, Village Caregiving, Thoroughbred Express Wash, the City of Huntington, Marshall University, Blinko Glass Company, Marshall Health Network Arena, and Kendrick Communications.
Hey, it's Lex and Terry, K&B Pest Control, locally owned and operated in Huntington, West Virginia, serving the tri-state.
Man, these guys are great. They do residential and commercial, indoor, outdoor, free estimates. These guys are the best, I'm telling you.
This is when the critters come out. High customer ratings, satisfaction guaranteed, large fleet, crew, meaning same-day appointments, and quick service.
All you got to do is pick up your phone and call Patrick, the owner. Okay, that's what you got to do. Or Becca. They're standing by to take care of you guys. It's KNBPestControl.com online, and give them a call, man. They got a great Facebook page. Go ahead and like it. They got a phone number. We'll give you that. Why not? It's free. 304-523-4281.
Or go to KNBPestControl.com. They will tell you what everything looks like, what you're looking for, if you're getting a pest problem, and get on top of it. They're the best. Make sure you call Patrick once again, who is very passionate about his pest control, or Becca. K&B Pest Control. They'll kill for your business.
Trust the guys with over 40 years of experience at K&B Pest Control.
During Lowe's Pro Savings Days, the job works in your favor. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members buy more and save more on materials they rely on every day. Get up to 25% off select molding when you spend $1,000 or more, and up to 25% off Pergo Evercraft laminate flooring. Put Pro Savings Days to work for you. Members get more at Lowe's. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit the Pro Desk or Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
Ladies, prioritizing your health starts with Marshall OBGYN. From screening exams to disease prevention to management of reproductive problems, our team offers a complete range of services for women of all ages. Thinking about growing your family? Marshall OBGYN's physicians are experienced in providing you the support you need for normal or high-risk pregnancies in a friendly, family-oriented environment. Learn more at marshallhealth.org/OBGYN.
Experience elegance, history, and unforgettable moments at the Paramount Theater Ashland. Whether you're planning the wedding of your dreams, a corporate event, gala, concert, or private celebration, the Paramount offers a one-of-a-kind venue filled with timeless charm and breathtaking architecture. From the grand stage to the stunning ballroom spaces, your guest will remember every moment. Now booking ceremonies, special events, and parties for 2026. Call to schedule your tour of the Paramount Theater Ashland.
Listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Still to come, we're going to hear from Tyler Kennett from HD Media ahead of the state baseball tournament. We'll catch up with him in just a few minutes. We're going to hear from you as well at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. And we've got comments from Andrew Brown. Had a chance to catch up with him earlier today over at the Jack as we're getting closer to the start of the state baseball tournament at Jack Cook Field. Let's hit the text line first, brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. Texter says, as you know, some of the football kickoff times were released. I personally like the night games and dislike noon kickoffs. What's your favorite time? I'm going to say noon. I'm going to disagree with you. I like the noon kickoffs a little bit better. I'm coming at it from a different angle, though. I'm not opposed to the 3:30 kickoff. I'm not opposed to the 7 o'clock kickoff, but I like the noon kickoff. And I've got a different reason than you, so I like getting in there, getting the game on, let's go, root on the herd. After the game is over, you got plenty of time after the game. You got the rest of your day. You can tailgate. You can travel home safely. If you've got a few hours, good time had by all. 3:30 games, you can travel a little bit in the morning if you need to. You can get to Huntington if you're coming from outside the area, and you can watch the game, and you can still get home at a reasonable time. I just like noon because you're coming in for the football game. You can travel on Friday. Maybe you stay the night. Or you get up early, bright and early in the morning, and you travel to Huntington. You get here. I know for some people, well, I can't tailgate at noon. I can't tailgate at the noon kickoff. And again, I have different reasons than you. I like noon because you get that game going. It's high noon. Hopefully it's a nice sunny day. And then after it's done, everybody can get home. Everybody can get other things done. You've got plenty of time. I'm thinking of it just differently. Hey, like, it's over. Had a great time. And now we can talk about the game on our post-game show. And then everybody's off to whatever they need to do for the rest of the weekend. But I can see the appeal for a lot of people. They drive in. It's a night game, so they can leave, and then they can get here to Huntington, and they can tailgate to their heart's content, and then go watch the game. And then it's a late night for everybody else, because if it's a 7 o'clock kick, this is Marshall we're talking about, so that's probably going to be 11 o'clock. For some reason, there's a time vortex at a Marshall football game, so I'm thinking 11 o'clock there. And then, if you're staying the night, you're staying the night. If not, you're traveling, and you're going to light night ahead of you if you live close. If not, you got a long night ahead of you. But I did always like the noon games, but I'm pretty flexible. I'll show up. I'll be there when they say be there. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. But when I was younger, I did argue for the late games, because I was younger and I wasn't doing other things. So yeah. But I was more of I'm showing up to watch the game. I'm showing up to watch the game mode. So I might not be the right guy to ask that question of, admittedly. Baseball coming up this weekend, starting at Jack Cook Field. First game, we're going to have that game for you right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 again the entire day on Saturday. The following Monday, all the way to Saturday, we'll have every game from the state tournament right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Andrew Brown takes care of the facilities, among other duties, at Marshall University. He handles a lot of the logistics. And this is something that I'm sure that he's been working on for a long time now. And he's pretty excited about the tournament. It's finally here. This is finally an opportunity for Marshall University to showcase what it's about and put this tournament on for the WVSSAC.
Yeah, really excited. We put in for the bid for this championship over a year ago. And, it's a big initiative for the president and our athletic director and the university to try to get as many people to our campus as possible. So the opportunity to have a state championship here at baseball, a facility that's 3 years old, first class, can't beat it anywhere in the state. So really excited to have everybody here, get people on our campus, get people on our athletic venues, and showcase what we have to offer.
That's Andrew Brown. Earlier today, had a chance to catch up with him at the Jack Cook Field. So I've been curious all week about what the process has been like. You just don't raise your hand and say, hey, we'd like to host the tournament. There's a process involved with that. And Andrew expanded a little bit more what that's like.
Yeah, we have a lot of experience, obviously, hosting our events. We've hosted the cheer competition in the past, so we're familiar with the group. And being a part of the bid process for football and basketball over the years, we have an understanding of what the expectations are. And so, we feel like we provide a first-class environment and venue and day-to-day operations, so we're ready for it.
So what's the challenge? You're hosting 32 teams. That's not easy, right? That's a pretty big challenge. I think Marshall's ready for it, to kind of echo what Andrew was saying earlier.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. Again, not too different from what we do on the day-to-day. Just working with our teams, right? So softball and baseball here, they're utilizing their hitting facilities. From a parking standpoint, thankfully the kids aren't here, right? The students are gone. So our lots are a little bit more open than they typically would be. So that makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, logistically, it's not that much different than a sporting event for us. Just longer days, right? But it's easy.
And again, that's Andrew Brown. Facilities, the big reason why this tournament being held in Huntington. And Andrew addressed that. Marshall has a unique ability to be able to host an event like this, especially since it has expanded.
Yeah. The beauty of our facility, I think, is that we have multiple venues for batting cages, for practice. We have plenty of parking. We have plenty of everything that they need to host the tournament. We have Sky Suites plenty of areas for premium activations. So it's worked out really well.
And that's something that has really come up. With Herd Hospitality, the big push has been, let's use our facilities more. Let's get more out of them. They're going unused for a majority of the year. So let's really invest in them, and let's make those facilities work for us almost year-round if possible. But that's something that Marshall is really pushing, and this is an opportunity because you're going to be showcasing your facilities to a new group of people. There are people probably coming to this tournament that haven't been to Marshall University, or they may be driven by Huntington. Maybe they haven't been to Huntington. Depending on what part of the state they're coming in, they have a little familiarity with Marshall University, or they have a lot of familiarity with the Thundering Herd and the athletic programs. It just depends on the individual, but this is an opportunity. You're bringing in new groups of people to showcase what you have with the facilities, not only football, baseball, softball, but Huntington in general.
Yeah, exactly. We have a Herd Hospitality team. Their job and their objective is really to bring in revenue-generating events, bring people to the area, and so anything we can do to showcase that opportunity, right? Again, we have really nice venues. They're great for our teams. Can we use them for multiple sports? Can we use them for concerts? Can we use them for any sort of activation that'll help the community and help us at the same time?
Andrew Brown with us. Comments from him earlier in the day. A couple more questions he answered. One of them was about some of the changes. Are there changes? Is there something you needed to do? Or is there something different about Jack Cook Field? Now, I qualify that by saying, I was looking at the field earlier. I didn't see too much that had changed, not, signage and things like that. But I think Jack Cook was already in a prime spot. Once it opened up, you knew that it had the capability to do things like this. So anything you might see, there might be a couple of things here or there, but for the most part, it's Jack Cook Field, and anything there is kind of cosmetic.
Yeah, not really. Pretty much status quo. I mean, we have some Sky Suite availability already. And then, we have a little bit of premium space that we're adding with our deck and pavilion that we have over on the third baseline. But otherwise, it's pretty much the same.
So you get the pavilion. And then, just to wrap it up with Andrew Brown, what are his hopes for the week?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, showcase what we have to offer here on campus. Hopefully some of the local schools can compete at a high level to get our crowds a little bit bigger. But just put on a first-class event so we can show everybody that we can do it here.
Yeah, no bias, but at the same time, you're kind of looking at this going, hey, wouldn't it be great if the local teams did well and more people would be able to come back? You don't want to see all the local teams eliminated. Maybe you would like to see the local teams go as far as possible, and that's going to help the crowds. Obviously, this is an event to serve the community. This is an event to put on a show, best baseball tournament you possibly can put on. And this is an event you want to make some money at as well. You want to draw in a lot of people, and it's going to be important, absolutely important, to see good crowds at this event. Make this one of the best tournaments ever. And then when the contract comes up, you go, hey, Huntington's pretty good at this. The community really showed up. We got to keep it here. So that's kind of my push on top of that. I like seeing events like this. I like the wrestling tournament here. And I think, again, it's good. It's quality of life stuff. Absolutely on board with this. I don't know a soul that is against it. If you are, the text line is yours, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Tyler Kinnett, HD Media, is going to join us here on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or biglou.com.
Planning for a funeral is never easy, and selecting the right mortuary can be important. Family-owned and operated for over 6 decades, our family has helped other families going through the most difficult time. Chapman's Mortuary and Crematory can help you plan arrangements today or offer a pre-need funeral plan in line with your intimate wishes. And now, we provide Huntington's only on-site crematory. Call us for a free consultation. Chapman's Mortuary and Crematory, serving the tri-state for over 60 years.
Save big on your landscaping project now at Menards. Whether you're installing a patio or a new retaining wall, Menards has the blocks you need to get the job done right. We carry the largest in-stock selection, ready to take home today. Stop in and get our 12-inch smooth patio block on sale now. Save big on concrete landscape blocks at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
It's spring cleaning season. Out with the old and in with the new. At Sue's Junk and Antique Mall on Camden Road in Huntington. With over 400 vendors, you'll find incredible furniture, primitive decor, unique items, collectibles, action figures, lots of the new season, new finds, and new reasons to explore. Spring into Sue's Junk and Antique Mall today. Skip the ordinary and discover something unforgettable. At Sue's Junk and Antique Mall, 459 Camden Road in Huntington.
I still can't believe there are people out there who haven't had breakfast from Oscar's Breakfast Burgers and Brews. It's literally the second word in the name after Oscar's. Oh, I don't get up that early. Well, guess what? Breakfast is served all day. No excuses, bro. Chicken and waffles, loaded breakfast burritos, big, bold omelets, biscuits and gravy that mean business. Morning, noon, or whenever you finally wake up, breakfast is at Oscar's Breakfast Burgers and Brews. River Place Plaza, Barbersville, OscarsBBB.com. I'm talking with Jansen Williams from Apex Tech. Jansen, what does Apex Tech do for businesses?
Apex Tech handles managed IT services, cybersecurity solutions, backup and disaster recovery, compliance and risk management, and more. We help businesses stay secure and run smoothly.
What if it's a small business or someone that's self-employed?
Apex Tech customizes plans for businesses, big or small, so you only pay for what you need.
Every business needs IT services. Every business needs Apex Tech. Learn more at apextechwv.com.
Going back to school is a big step, but you're not alone. At Collins Career Technical Center, your success is our success. From financial aid to career support, we're with you every step. You're part of a team of students on the same path, facing challenges together. And when it gets tough, we've got your back. Because when you succeed, our whole community gets stronger. Let's take the next step together. Visit collins-cc.edu to learn more. At Collins Career Technical Center, it's not just you. It's us. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Follow at Paul Swann on X for Marshall sports updates and more.
We continue with this Thursday edition of Your Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Baseball tournament is coming up at Jack Cook Field starting on Saturday. To help us get ready for the field and maybe some of the potential storylines we can expect to see is Tyler Kennett from HD Media. Of course, Tyler's been covering the softball tournament as well, and he'll have baseball duties. Tyler, good talking to you again. It's good seeing you earlier today as we were at Jack Cook Field together, and this is pretty exciting. It's always fun when you have a major event like this come to your community, but to have the promise of Jack Cook Field start to be realized with the state baseball tournament and expanded with 4 classifications, this is going to be a huge event.
Yeah, I'm really excited. For me, it saves me about 40 minutes of a drive to Charleston, but I know for when I used to live in Morgantown and everything that I always liked going to Jack Cook Field to watch games, in the off season when I was able to and everything. I think it's probably, the premier place to play nowadays. I mean, it's the most new facility. The facilities are amazing for the kids too. I mean, like I can imagine, like if I was in high school, to get to use like a Division I caliber collegiate facility to practice in and stuff like that, you really get a chance to see some of the best talent around coming in as well. So it'll be good for the kids. It'll be good for the fans. You know, I think that Marshall puts on a really good event for baseball year round. And, you know, they thought, like you talked about earlier today, the parking will be good. I know for softball this week, I walked about half a mile to the fields, and so the parking won't be as bad. You know what I mean? Especially, I know Go-Mart in the past has been pretty tough to get around and do all that stuff, but I think that Huntington will be a good spot for it.
Yeah, parking's always the big selling point for me when it comes to a venue. Batting cages. I've heard this a lot. You've probably heard this a lot. I was talking to Wayne Ryan earlier this week, the executive director of WVSSAC. We talked to Ryan Crisp yesterday, and of course, Ryan, big part of Herd Hospitality. And then Andrew Brown today, talking to him about the facility aspect. The batting cages come up time and time again. The kids are excited. They got batting cages. Who knew? Yeah. Batting cages would be the big sell.
Yeah, it's great. I actually talked to Coach Beals and the team before the season started in the clubhouse and got a chance to see the batting cages and everything. And they're really good. I mean, it's just like you've got 2 or 3 to where you can probably have multiple teams able to take care of business at the same time. And then the softball facility as well will work the same way. I'm sure I've been in there, and a lot of space for them. And then I'm not sure if they'll make use of the indoor for some things for them as well. But, I mean, you've got 3 or 4 different spots that you can work in and get reps in, because at Little Creek for softball, there's like cages behind the fields and everything to where and the fields around the fields to where, you know, the teams are able to warm up and play and do everything, because you've got games back to back to back, and usually it's like 10 to 30 minutes of break between each game, from my experience, to where sometimes that's not ample time for practice. You know, you get your infield and your outfield and everything, but in terms of actually getting some reps on site and everything after you've traveled down, you've been waiting and everything, that's a big advantage. You know, I'm sure that's a good thing for them, and they'll get a chance to get a little bit of light batting practice in before the games, which is really, really good.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for them to also be in a Division I ballpark. That's come up being at Marshall University. You know, for a lot of these kids, this will be probably the first time that they've either stepped foot at a Marshall event or a Marshall facility or even Huntington. And so this is a huge opportunity, and we've got a really diverse field. And thankfully for the tournament organizers, we've got local teams as well. Tyler, that's always a good mix when you got so many local teams and you've got a lot of teams coming from out of state. I'm sorry, well, it feels like out of state when I talk about Martinsburg, but yeah, right. you get the point. A lot of different destinations all coming to Huntington. And I don't know if you can put your finger on 1 or 2 or 3 teams that can walk away with a state championship, but I know you're going to try.
Yeah, I think in single A, to start from the bottom and work up, not necessarily the bottom, but the smaller schools, St. Joe and Huntington has been phenomenal. I watched them. They have really good pitching, a lot of really, really, really talented hitters. They've kind of built that program very quickly. You know, they came back, and now they're the number 1 seed in single A. That's probably the closest team for us. Sherman is the number 3. I know they're kind of close enough to where we could point to them as well, but St. Joe is probably the favorite in terms of the seeding and everything. They'll actually be the first game played for the event, so that'll be exciting. That'll be at 10 o'clock on Saturday, because it'll run from Saturday until the following week on the 13th. So that tournament will be interesting. I think Greater Beckley Christian, Gilmer County, you know, these are programs that are always some good teams and everything, but St. Joe, probably the local for them. In AA, I know we have Buffalo and Logan are going to be in there. I'm going to actually write a preview about the AA tournament tomorrow, so that'll be in the paper for the weekend along with the single A and everything, so we'll get going on that pretty soon. Wheeling Central has always been really good. They're the number 1 seed in AA. Look really good. Frankfort was a champion a few years ago. Can't remember if they were last year or not, but they've kind of moved around classes, and they've found a home in AA. Frankfort is always incredible. So it'll be exciting to watch them. I know Logan is the 4 seed, Buffalo is the 6, so they'll get going there on Monday. And then Tuesday you have AAA. we were kind of talking about it earlier. I used to cover Bridgeport really heavily when I worked in the Clarksburg area, and Bridgeport's pitching staff is absolutely phenomenal. I think that team is really good. Bridgeport kind of has a lot of storied history in baseball, and I think they have a chance to add to it this year. Our local in that bracket would be Spring Valley, who has won some really good games. I watched them play Charleston Catholic, who ended up not making it, but was a very talented team throughout the year. And they took games off of really high caliber teams, both in their class and without it, and outside of it, I mean. So Spring Valley is very great. St. Albans has been at the top, near the top of the polls pretty much all year. So those are two locals to watch out for. I would say in that bracket, Bridgeport is the number one and is probably the favorite, but, don't count out any of these teams. St. Albans, Spring Valley, both of them could get a run. Ripley as well is in that bracket. Then the big class, GW and Huntington, will be the first game in the class Quad A. So it's two local teams. GW is the number one seed, likely the favorite. They've been pretty good. They were at the softball tournament last night rooting on the girls in the class Quad A tournament for softball. So, they're very energized. They're a really good team. I've watched them a couple of times. This is probably the one that a lot of locals will look at the most because Cabell Midland is in. They're playing Morgantown, who's another talented team. Cabell Midland is the number 7, and Hurricane, who's always good. Number 3 will have Martinsburg, like you said, coming all the way from the Eastern Panhandle of Huntington. So they probably got one of the longest trips. But those teams are Quad A has been really contentious this year. GW and Morgantown are incredible. Cabell Midland's always capable of winning games. Don't let their seed fool you. Same thing with Huntington. Tavion Wilson is very exciting. They have some really good pitching as well. And I believe Huntington's playing in the state tournament for the first time. Last time I was talking to their coach, I believe that's what he said. And for it to be in hometown is very special for them. So it's kind of like an overview of the field a little bit for you.
Yeah, I can't remember. I'm trying to go back to Huntington High days, the Pony Express. I can't remember. So I know that's a big deal. The expanded field also helps, and I think it gives teams a little bit more of an opportunity. And I don't think that's a bad thing, especially since you've got 4 classifications. Let's just make this a fun week for these kids. And I don't care. We've got 8 seeds. Let's have 8 seeds. Let's not get crazy and have 16 seeds here. But 8 seeds seems like it's a good mix for each classification.
Yeah, it really worked for the softball tournament. Morgantown made it in Quad A for the first time. Usually it ran into a bit of a wall with, back in the day, John Marshall was in the high class with Morgantown and would kind of run it. Same with, Wheeling Park, I think, had some teams back in the day that would go through. So Morgantown had never really been to the tournament until this year, and they actually won it today, So those lower, at least in softball, because it did the same thing, expanding, actually made it very competitive. I do think that they're having that little bit of a layover between the regional and everything. It makes some teams come in a little bit rusty, which is something that some teams were not exactly happy with. But having that 8 teams, I like that it adds a lot of teams that you usually don't see, because having 4, or whatever it was before, slimmed the field down to where it was very, close every year, especially with it being single elimination, everything. Having more teams, like you said, I just like having more teams, having more opportunities, because a lot of communities don't really get a chance to see their teams go on and play, like even Huntington. Huntington's always been in a very, very loaded region in baseball, with Hurricane, with Cabell Midland, with GW, and with all these teams that are phenomenal. Having to go from 1 or 2 teams to like 4 from the north and 4 from the south really opens it up and gives you a chance to get as many teams in as you can, a lot of really quality teams. It's kind of the consensus top, 10 teams. There's a good look at the field for everybody, and any of these teams could do something and make some noise.
Tyler Kennett's with its HD Media. He's going to be covering the tournaments pretty much every single day except Sunday. So you've got Saturday duty, and then you've got the following week. So I know you're going to be really crazy. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of your stories, and I'm sure there's some interesting storylines that are either you're going to find out about or we're going to see progress. The Huntington story, for example, this is the state tournament here in Huntington, and they're in the state tournament. Right there, I would hope that every Highlander fan and the sound of my voice so can hear me would be buying their tickets right now to support those kids.
Yeah, I think it's also just going to be a really fun environment. You can come for a day and watch 3 or 4 games. And to be honest with you, I'm not doing much this time of year. Are you? School is out, so a lot of kids can come to the games and everything. I know it's hard to kind of take a day off in the middle of the work week for some people, but, especially Saturday, you're going to have all the championships on the same day on the 13th. So that'll be a good chance to see the best. And at the very least, that's a weekend plan for you. But with Quad A getting its semis and everything on Friday, you'll have some local teams there. A lot of the semifinals are going to take place either Thursday or Friday and then roll into Saturday for the championships. So if you don't get to watch those early games, you got a chance for the weekend to make some plans and go out. And it's just a good chance to see some good baseball. A lot of these teams played spring tournaments at the field. I know Hurricane hosted an event there, if I can recall, and it was really good. It was a pretty good shout for those. I expect that you'll have a good contingency of people. Usually Charleston always drew a good crowd. So to have a lot of local teams with a chance to go deep is very exciting. And then I know, North Central West Virginia, from living there, Bridgeport and Morgantown, those schools are going to have a lot of people here. They're going to come and they're going to watch their teams. So I think it'll be good for the community and especially, like the tourism and the greater Huntington community can benefit really well from having something like this year. I think it's something to be excited for.
And as a quick, cheap promo, we've got all the games on radio. If you can't make it to a particular game, we've got you covered right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Tyler's going to be covering it for HD Media, so you can get the detailed recap as well. Always good to see your kids' picture in the paper. You know that, Tyler. So there'll be a lot of flash photography, right? As they used to say, a lot of.
We're kind of like all hands on deck for it. So I think we're going to cover as many games, if not all the games that we can, at least all the locals between ourselves and the Gazette. I think we'll have probably 6 to 8 guys or whatever that will be rotating through, and it's kind of like we have our own pitching rotation, but don't put us on the field. I don't think we'll do very well. But
HD Media softball team. I mean, think about that.
I wouldn't be very good. I can't hit. I played too much golf when I was a kid. I could make the throw from the outfield when I played baseball, but I couldn't do much else. So.
Tyler Kennett's with us, HD Media, not going to be playing softball or pitching or hitting for the Herald-Dispatch, if he can help it. Before we let him go, you've got obviously a lot of baseball to start watching. If you get a chance, you've got Stanley Cup action, you got NBA Finals. I know we already got one game underway for both. Who you like, Knicks, Spurs? Who you liking that one?
I have been watching the Spurs all year. I kind of decided I wanted to settle in on a team because like I've told you before, I'm the lone member of the Ben Simmons fan club that's still around. So he's not in the league, so I had to pick a new team, and I picked the Spurs to watch this year, and I've had a lot of fun. I really hope they can win. I like Wembanyama a lot. I thought they were going to win last night. I watched it on the way home from softball, listened to it, and it felt like the Spurs had it, and then they didn't. So I think it'll be a good series. I haven't got to watch much playoff hockey, especially once Edmonton was out. I was just like, I probably cursed them by liking them.
Okay, here's what you do: root for Carolina because nobody likes Vegas, and then I'm rooting for the Knicks, so we'll agree to disagree there. But then again, I'm still bitter over 1999. I was a Patrick Ewing mark back in the day.
I think it would be cool for either team to win. Like I always thought the Spurs are like that team that there's not many people that hate the Spurs, but the Knicks are a team that like you're happy if they win because they don't much,
I'm happy if they win. I'm taking it. 3 more to go, and let's see if this is going 7. I already said it. It's going 7.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun. I mean, it would be stressful, but it would definitely be fun. I mean, the good news is, after it's over, I don't have to worry about it because either I'm ordering a championship hat or I'm not. I mean, that's my big decision, right there. I got to have one New York team that I follow win. The hockey team isn't, so I might as well go with the basketball team.
Yeah, I think that they're really good. I think people underestimated the East this year, but maybe that's just me. Like the West has all the stars, but the East has like the best set of teams. I'm a big Landry Shamet fan, So I'm happy to see him doing well. Former Wichita State guy. Played against Marshall in a tournament, actually.
There you have it. That's why you pick up the Herald Dispatch or you subscribe online. Tyler Kennett with us, HD Media. Have fun this week. I know you're going to have a busy schedule ahead of you, and we'll catch up with you soon. I have the rough week ahead of me since we're going to carry all the baseball games. I don't have a show to prep for next week. I'm just going to sit back and listen to radio and listen to the games when I can't get over there.
Yeah, it'll be fun. My wife and I are going to Lexington for Railbird, like a country music festival this weekend, so I'll get going on Monday and let it go from there. So hopefully have fun there.
Super cool. Tyler, thanks for doing it as always. We'll get you back on soon.
Yeah, see you.
Tyler Kennett, HD Media, who'll have coverage of the state tournament and more over at the website for HD Media. Quick time out. We wrap it up with your text on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Summer starts here. It's Moses Auto Mall of Huntington 9th Street Live every Friday night in Huntington. Presented by Michelob Ultra, White Claw, Big Timber, and Country Boy Brewing. Friday, June 5th, it's the heavy hitters on the Marshall OBGYN stage. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Gomart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy 9th Street libations from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Sip Downtown Brasserie, and Summit Beer Station, featuring Tito's, Milagro Tequila, Rebel Bourbon, High Noon, and Lucky One. The after-show party takes place at Jerk Riley's at Pullman Square. Mark your calendar for June 19th when 9th Street is dead, with Grateful Dead tunes from John Ingram's Dead Center. July 10th, enjoy the music of the Beatles with the Newbies. The Thundering Herd Rally is Friday, August 14th, sponsored by Wendy's, Huntington Beverage Center, Sods, Apex Tech, the Great Outdoors Marine, Village Caregiving, Thoroughbred Express Wash, the City of Huntington, Marshall University, Blinko Glass Company, Marshall Health Network Arena, and Kendrick Communications.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Looking for a secure savings account? Come to Desco Federal Credit Union and explore our latest offers. With great rates and top-of-the-line personnel, Desco insures your money for at least $1 million. Relax and put your money where you know it's safe and growing. Desco Federal Credit Union is located at 1211 Carter Avenue and other locations in Ohio and West Virginia. Stop in or go online. An account at Desco is just what you need. DescoFCU.org.
Our Kendrick Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Reyes Mexican Tanqueria and Cantina. Authentic flavors from Jalisco, Mexico. 234 3rd Avenue in Gallipolis, Ohio, and 218 General Hardinger Parkway in Middleport. The Arbors of Gallipolis, caring about you while caring for you.
At Food Fair, your savings just got smarter. Introducing Cart Cash Rewards, where every trip takes you further. Unlock brand new digital coupons. Even exclusive offers you won't find anywhere else. Clip them right in the app or at checkout and watch the savings add up instantly. Ready to start saving more? Just text CART to 87573. Food Fair, conveniently fresh.
Hi, it's Tony Caridi. Now, Brad, are you ready for a snackadelic summer?
Rev up the van, Tony. It's time to head to Gomart and grab one of 7 specially marked items to score bonus reward points, plus 30 cents off every gallon of gas.
That's right, baby. More munchies, more miles, and don't miss your shot to win a $1,000 gas gift card. That's enough fuel to drive the van all the way to the next decade.
Sign up for Gomart Rewards at Gomart.com because this summer, the snacks are groovy and the savings are real. Stay groovy, Gomart style.
I'm so addicted to
Saving Able is back this Saturday at Jerks at Pullman Square in Huntington. It's Saving Able. Get your tickets at ticketleap.com. Tickets just $20 for general admission and $40 for VIP. Saving Able with special guests Dalton Kaiser and the Downwind. Tickets available at ticketleap.com. Don't miss an incredible night of live music with Saving Able at Jerks, Pullman Square in Huntington.
Hi everyone.
I'm Kristen Bell, and I invited you here to my hotel room to talk about your cheeks. Your big, beautiful cheeks. Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking about swabbing them. Did you guys know that each year 20,000 Americans with blood cancer are searching for their life-saving marrow match? Can you even believe that? I mean, people need marrow, you guys, and we have it. So here's how we can help. It's really, really simple. All you have to do is swab your cheek, this cheek. Then go to Gift of Life Marrow Registry. It's so easy, anyone can do it. And in case you're wondering, if you're a match, donating, it's a lot easier than you think. So wherever you are, go ahead and swab that cheek. Go to giftoflife.org and get a free kit sent to your home, or find a donor drive in your area so that you can swab a cheek and save a life. It's only a minute of your time, but it can give someone else the rest of their life.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We are wrapping up today's edition of Your Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Good news, we will be back with you tomorrow, 5:06. The bad news, it's going to be our last show for a week, but we've got a good reason for that. State baseball tournament coming up starting Saturday. We're going to have every game all tournament long right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So what are you going to do in the meanwhile? Well, you can follow me on X at Paul Swann. If you do that, you can keep up with me. I'm not one of those. I'm not tweeting, posting every single hour. So, I won't blow your feed up. But at the same time, I've got a link on that profile. I'm on some other social media networks. So if you'd like to fill out some of those social media ranks for me, like Threads, Blue Sky, wherever you might be, I might be there too. So head on over. The profile has the link on X at Paul Swann. And of course, you've got the podcast. You can go back and listen to your favorite episodes or discover a new one on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, if you just go away for a few days, I'll be sad because we got a lot of baseball for you coming up. So hopefully you're going to stick around because we've got Huntington High, we've got Cabell Midland, we got Spring Valley, we got Huntington St. Joe. I go on and on and on. We got teams, and it's going to be fun. And I'm hopeful that a lot of you are going to be over at the baseball park. I know it's kind of tough to get over there for every single session. So whichever session you can get to, that's going to be great. And if you'd like, you can take your radio with you. And you can also take your phone with you and listen to some of the games as well. So you could be in the concourse. You could be listening to the feed. You can also be on your way to one of the sessions. You can tune in to some of the other action. Or if you just can't get away from work, you can listen to the games. We got you covered. Head over to our website, WRVC.com. You can listen there. You can listen through the app. Also, you can get that link at our website at WRVC.com. Or you can do this crazy thing. I've suggested this for a while. You can get a radio to take with you. Those are really cool. You can get yourself a pocket radio if you like. You can get the headphones in them. It's fantastic. It's a great way to listen to the Marshall game while it's going on. That's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back with you tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
WRVC Huntington, W227BS Huntington, your flagship home of the Marshall Thundering Herd and The Drive with Paul Swann, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.